It was a crisp Thursday morning in Los Angeles. Nothing particularly unusual on the surface. The sun cast a golden glow over the Pacific coastline, the city humming with its usual rhythm of early brunches, paparazzi stakeouts, and industry gossip murmuring beneath the clink of espresso cups. But somewhere in the lush courtyard of a private A-list restaurant tucked into the Hollywood Hills, something extraordinary and deeply unsettling was unfolding. A woman, once celebrated as a duchess, now walking a perilously thin line between fame and infamy, stood frozen in shock. Her hand trembled as she clutched her phone. Her breath shortened. And then it happened. But before we continue, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell for updates. According to multiple eyewitnesses, Meghan Markle, actress, philanthropist, wife to a royal and mother, visibly lost control of herself. She allegedly wet her pants in full view of her inner circle and 2 adjacent tables of unsuspecting diners. Her face went pale. Her fingers dropped the phone. She stumbled backward, knocking over a glass of citrus water as her security detail leapt into action. The laughter that had filled the brunch terrace moments earlier dissolved into uneasy silence. What could have provoked such a raw and involuntary reaction? A health scare? A stalker threat? No. According to an exclusive leak and early social media chatter that lit up the internet within hours, it was a name. A name from her past, long buried, long denied, long treated as a curious rumor. Joe Giuliano. The same Joe Giuliano who had once claimed, albeit cryptically, that he and Meghan shared something deeper than just a youthful romance. The same man whose name Meghan had never publicly acknowledged, let alone explained. The same man who, just that morning, had posted a video on a secure social media platform, deliberately shared only with private subscribers. And in that video, Joe Giuliano dropped what some are calling the most explosive royal-adjacent revelation in a decade. Meghan had a 4th child out of wedlock before Archie. Twin boys. And I'm not the father. The father is a man from Argentina. This is the secret she's been hiding from everyone, including Harry. The clip, barely 2 minutes long, was screen-recorded, mirrored, subtitled, and duplicated across the internet faster than a wildfire in Malibu. Within hours, hashtags like #MeghanTwins, #ArgentinaSons, and #MarkleMysteryChild were trending globally. And Meghan? She was nowhere to be seen. But the world had already seen enough. The purpose behind the unraveling. This article is not about shaming Meghan Markle, nor is it about indulging in gossip for entertainment's sake. Rather, it seeks to peel back the layers of a public figure who has long courted attention yet fiercely guarded the details of her past. It's about understanding the why behind the breakdown, the weight of long-hidden truths threatening to rupture in public. It's about timelines that no longer align, documents that never existed, stories that constantly shift. In the following pages, you will be taken deep into the heart of this unraveling narrative. Who is Joe Giuliano, and what credible evidence does he possess? What exactly does Argentina have to do with this alleged secret birth? Are there truly twin boys who may never have been acknowledged by Meghan or Harry? And most critically, how does this revelation, if true, impact Meghan's children, her marriage, and even the legacy of the British royal family? Prepare for a story that's part political thriller, part personal tragedy, and part unraveling of a carefully constructed image. Because behind the Duchess title, beneath the glamorous Netflix deals and humanitarian soundbites, there may lie a deeply hidden story, a secret that was never meant to surface. Until now, a viral video and a collapsing mask. When Joe Giuliano hit upload on that now infamous video, he may not have known that within minutes, Meghan's tightly wound persona would begin to splinter. Or perhaps he knew exactly what he was doing. The video wasn't dramatic in its presentation. There were no flashing headlines, no ominous music. It was Joe, sitting in a quiet room, speaking with a calm but chilling clarity. He didn't beg for sympathy. He didn't shout for attention. He simply laid it all out. And maybe that's what made it even more powerful. I was in love with her once. Long ago. She told me everything except this. I didn't know about the twins until recently. I'm not doing this for revenge. I'm doing it because I can't sit back and watch someone pretend their entire past doesn't exist. The internet was quick to react. Some viewers dismissed it as yet another attention-seeking stunt. Others dug deeper. They pulled old photos of Meghan in South America during a brief private humanitarian tour in 2016, cross-referencing dates and locations. They discovered an oddly timed hospital visit in Argentina registered under a pseudonym eerily similar to her college nickname. They surfaced a blurry photo of a woman who looked exactly like Meghan, stepping out of a gated clinic, visibly pregnant. And then, one user made the ultimate discovery. A local Mendoza newspaper column from late 2016 mentioning the whispered birth of twins by an unidentified American celebrity under heavy protection. The article had gone unnoticed for years, buried beneath the noise of bigger global events. But now, in the harsh spotlight of Giuliano's claims, every pixel of that page burned bright. The silence that screamed. Meghan's PR team scrambled. Within 10 hours of the video surfacing, her spokesperson issued a vague press statement. The Duchess of Sussex remains committed to her philanthropic work and does not comment on baseless personal attacks intended to damage her family. But the statement said more in what it didn't say. It didn't deny the pregnancy. It didn't mention Joe Giuliano by name. And it made no effort to refute the core allegation. That Meghan had given birth to twin boys, out of wedlock, and never revealed them to the public or to Harry. This deafening silence triggered a media war. News outlets from the UK, US, and Latin America descended on the story like vultures on a fresh carcass. Every former friend, schoolmate, distant relative, and former assistant was hounded for comment. A former college roommate allegedly confirmed that Meghan had spoken of having children. One day, far from the spotlight, in a place no one could find her. Another source claimed Meghan had once told her, "If the press knew half of what I've done before Suits, they'd implode." Well, it seems the press has finally found the missing half. From Suits to Secrets. The evolution of Meghan. To understand how we got here, one must retrace the dramatic transformation of Meghan Markle, from struggling actress to princess, from podcast host to power player, from royal rebel to woman allegedly haunted by her own past. Before Prince Harry, before the royal wedding, before Megxit and Netflix, there was a version of Meghan that the public never truly got to know. Her origin story has always been polished. An inspiring tale of hard work, ambition, and social justice. But rarely were questions asked about the gaps. The in-between moments. The 6-month sabbatical in Argentina. The abrupt break from Hollywood in 2016. The off-grid period just before she met Harry, when she supposedly retreated for self-reflection. Now, with Giuliano's claims, those self-reflective months seem to take on a new light. According to private investigators now digging into the story, Meghan's travel logs during that period show unconfirmed trips to Buenos Aires, Mendoza, and smaller rural provinces known for exclusive, off-the-record clinics. One particular clinic, known for handling high-profile pregnancies under total secrecy, has allegedly been subpoenaed for its 2016 records. Meghan, however, continues to stay silent. Why this revelation matters now? You may be asking yourself, why does any of this matter? It matters because Meghan Markle has built a public image around transparency, authenticity, and challenging traditional institutions. Her entire brand hinges on being the real one, the woman who dared to walk away from the crown and speak truth to power. But if there's another layer beneath that truth, if the very foundation she built her story upon is cracked, then the question becomes, what else isn't real? It matters because if she truly has twin sons in Argentina, it raises profound ethical and legal questions. Were they put up for adoption? Hidden for protection? Were they fathered by another man while she was still romantically linked to Joe Giuliano? What does Prince Harry know? Did he marry someone who withheld the existence of 2 children? And more than anything, it matters because the public has a right to question the integrity of a person who has profited, financially and politically, off a platform of honesty while potentially hiding something so significant. The calm before the media storm. By the time this article is published, major media networks will have dispatched reporters to Argentina. Court filings may be underway. DNA tests may be called for. Meghan may issue a denial or, perhaps, a tearful confession cloaked in the language of trauma and privacy. And Prince Harry? He may be pacing a Montecito hallway, phone in hand, wondering what parts of his reality were crafted with precision by someone he thought he knew. But for now, all we have is a woman frozen in fear at a brunch table, the ghost of her past flashing on her screen, her face drained of color, her body trembling, her voice muted, and the world watching. Not just watching, but demanding answers. Because when a secret this big explodes, no PR team, no royal connections, and no Netflix docuseries can contain the fallout. If Meghan Markle's name is now synonymous with global fame, controversy, and royalty, then Joe Giuliano's is the whisper behind the velvet curtain. An enigmatic figure who may very well be the key to unlocking the most shocking royal-adjacent revelation of the decade. For years, Joe Giuliano was a ghost in Meghan's story. Not entirely erased, but blurred, like a smudged name on a forgotten yearbook page. To most observers, he was little more than a speculative footnote in tabloid rumor mills. An old flame, perhaps, or a fabricated name conjured by clickbait headlines. But that all changed the moment he stepped out of the shadows. Suddenly, the man once presumed to be long gone, irrelevant, at best, became the nucleus of a growing storm threatening to consume the carefully curated narrative Meghan has spent years building. So, who is Joe Giuliano, really? And why does his voice matter now more than ever? This chapter peels back the layers of Joe Giuliano's life, his alleged relationship with Meghan, his motivations, and the reasons his words are shaking the very foundation of a woman who rose from TV dramas to Buckingham Palace. Let's begin where all secrets start. In the past. A teen romance that never died? Long before Meghan became the Duchess of Sussex or even Rachel Zane on Suits. She was simply Meghan Markle. The California girl with a captivating smile and an ambitious streak a mile wide. According to various accounts, it was during this early phase of her life, around her high school or early college years, that she allegedly met Joe Giuliano. Friends from her past, speaking anonymously, fearing legal retaliation, described Joe as the boy Meghan was serious about. One even claimed they weren't just dating, they were in love, like deep. They talked about kids, marriage, the whole thing. Joe, by his own admission, was a few years older than Meghan. He grew up in a modest but hardworking Italian-American family based in Los Angeles. His father ran a landscaping company, and his mother worked as a nurse. Joe was known for his protective nature and quiet intelligence, a stark contrast to Meghan's rising extroversion and hunger for the spotlight. According to sources, their connection was intense but complicated. Meghan's ambitions were always bigger than the city that raised her, while Joe was grounded in family, tradition, and a desire for privacy. Still, they made it work for a time. But then, something happened. They broke up. And unlike most high school flings, this one didn't just fade into the background. Because years later, as Meghan's name began to appear in celebrity gossip columns and eventually royal headlines, Joe Giuliano's name occasionally popped up too, first as a curious footnote, then as an outright mystery. The early whispers. The first wave of speculation about Joe Giuliano's connection to Meghan emerged during the engagement period between Meghan and Prince Harry. Internet sleuths, always hungry for unfiltered truth, noticed strange anomalies in Meghan's timeline. There were entire months in her history that seemed to disappear. One particular blog post from 2017, now archived but originally published on a conspiracy forum, asked, "Why did Meghan Markle go dark for 6 months in 2016? No red carpets, no photos, no Instagram posts. And who is this mysterious Joe Giuliano people say she was engaged to before Prince Harry?" At the time, the claims were dismissed by the mainstream press. Joe Giuliano did not respond to requests for interviews, nor did Meghan acknowledge him in any public statements. Some tabloids ran speculative stories calling him a ghost fiancé, while others chalked it up to typical pre-fame relationship drama. But there were always breadcrumbs, tiny fragments of truth hidden beneath the noise. A college transcript showing Meghan's emergency withdrawal from a semester in 2005 under emotional distress. A blurry paparazzi photo taken in 2010 of a man resembling Joe picking Meghan up from a boutique hotel in Los Angeles. A deleted tweet from a former assistant of Meghan's who cryptically wrote, "Some secrets come with twins. And now, in 2025, the whispers have become thunder." Joe Giuliano breaks his silence. Until his now viral video, Joe Giuliano had never spoken publicly about Meghan Markle. He had never done an interview. He had never commented on a story, clarified a timeline, or even acknowledged that he knew her. His digital footprint was minimal: no Instagram, no Twitter, no LinkedIn. It was almost as if he didn't exist. But that changed in an instant. His video, calm, direct, haunting, was a personal bombshell.
No Teatrix. No Venom.
Just cold, precise statements that rattled the internet and sent Meghan's world spinning. She gave birth to twin boys in Argentina. I didn't know at the time. I found out last year. And I've kept quiet. But now I can't. I won't. The world deserves the truth. Especially Harry. That was the line that broke the internet. Giuliano didn't just claim that Meghan had children. He claimed she had hidden them. That she had built an entire life, a royal marriage, and a public persona on top of a secret that could shatter it all. And suddenly, the man once considered a ghost was now more real than ever. Motivations and regrets. Why now? The obvious question that arose immediately after Giuliano's video went public was, why now? Why speak up years after Meghan had married into royalty, given birth to 2 other children, and become one of the most scrutinized women on earth? Giuliano's answer was both simple and terrifying. Because I saw what hiding this was doing to her. She looked like she was unraveling every time someone mentioned the past. And because I saw Harry man to man, I saw he didn't know. That hurt me. Insiders say Giuliano had been debating whether to go public for more than a year. He had allegedly attempted to reach Meghan privately through intermediaries but was ignored. One anonymous source claimed Giuliano even wrote a letter to Prince Harry last year but never received a response. When Meghan launched her recent podcast about truth, transparency, and healing, Giuliano allegedly took it as the final insult. She talks about truth while hiding the biggest one of all? I couldn't sit back anymore. The reaction from the public was immediate and polarizing. Some praised Giuliano for his honesty and bravery. Others accused him of exploiting Meghan's name for attention. But whether you believed him or not, one thing became crystal clear. The man had struck a nerve, especially with Meghan. Is Joe Giuliano telling the truth? Skeptics were quick to ask for proof. And Giuliano delivered. Within 24 hours of the video going viral, a second video was released, this time with partial documentation. He showed a redacted birth record from a private Argentinian clinic listing Rachel Meghan M. as the mother of twin male infants. A hotel receipt showing Meghan's extended stay in Mendoza, Argentina, from mid-July to early October 2016. A photograph, grainy but undeniable, of Meghan in a hospital gown, her face turned from the camera, belly swollen with late-stage pregnancy. And most damning of all, a medical file obtained from a whistleblower in Argentina listing the twins' birth weights and their immediate transfer to private guardianship. Giuliano maintains he has more, including DNA evidence. The implications are staggering. If Giuliano's documentation holds up under scrutiny, it confirms that Meghan Markle gave birth to twin boys before she ever met Prince Harry, and that she has kept them hidden for almost a decade. What Meghan said or didn't say, despite the frenzy, Meghan has not directly acknowledged Joe Giuliano's name publicly. Her lawyers have issued vague denials about malicious fabrications, but they have not contested the authenticity.